Welcome to the InfoWars Nightly News. It is Tuesday, July 8th, 2014, and I'm Leanne McAdoo. Well, President Obama is going to be in town this week. He is taking a little Texas tour to do a little Democratic fundraising. But not surprisingly, he won't be taking a tour of the border.
But I think the problem speaks for itself when the president, who would prefer to hang out with campaign donors and other political supporters, would decide not to have any interaction with those that are directly affected by his failed policies. In this case, the failed immigration policies that led to a full-blown humanitarian crisis. So instead of taking the easy way out, I wish the president would step up and lead. And he would learn, perhaps something he did not already know, or that he thinks he knows, and which is absolutely wrong. It's puzzling and it's frustrating that the President of the United States chooses the path he apparently is going to take rather than one that will help him solve problems.
That was Texas Senator John Cornyn, who said he found it puzzling and frustrating that President Obama would not be visiting the border to witness firsthand this humanitarian crisis and, of course, take a stronger leadership stance there. Texas Governor Rick Perry also has been calling on Obama to take a trip to the border. The president said that he'd be happy to meet Rick Perry on the tarmac there, but Rick Perry said there's no way he wants to meet Obama for just a handshake and a PR opportunity. He's been highly critical of the president for the way he's handled this crisis situation. And of course, he rejected that small offer, which of course has now forced President Obama to make some time in between hobnobbing with celebrities and his 5-hour golf game on Saturdays to meet and discuss this border crisis with local officials as well as faith leaders. But that's very interesting because he's going to be meeting with these faith leaders in Dallas. And we're hearing a lot of reports about how it is a lot of these church groups and faith groups who are really taking responsibility for giving aid to all of these unaccompanied illegal minor immigrants. You saw the footage that we shot last month of churches here in Texas busing illegals to destinations unknown, and now we're getting reports of Catholic churches in Southern California agreeing to house unaccompanied minors for up to a month. And of course, these churches are asking their followers to take these minors into their home, sometimes for a month or more. Now, I think it's great that these church groups are helping these children. I don't have any problem with that. I do think, we are all human. We do all have that spark of divinity. But that is not the issue here. The issue here is that this was a calculated crisis that no one actually calculated the cost and how we're going to pay for it, much like Obamacare. And the fact is, we just cannot afford to house and take care of hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants that are projected to be entering the country over the next year. We just cannot take care of that cost for an undetermined amount of time. And those sentiments are echoed by Sarah Palin, who says it is time to impeach Obama. Now, we've heard this before, but she says without borders, there is no nation. And Obama knows this. Opening our borders to a flood of illegal immigrants is deliberate. This is his fundamental transformation of America, and it's the only promise that he has kept. Now, she's saying that because of Obama's purposeful dereliction of duty, there's going to be an untold number of illegal immigrants who are going to come in competing against Americans for our jobs and limited public services. And of course, no end in sight because the president is prioritizing partying over doing the job he was hired by voters to do without saying protecting the borders, securing the borders is his job. Of course, we know the federal government is trillions of dollars in debt. Many cities are on the verge of insolvency. We've got an overrun healthcare system, and generally our welfare state programs are stretched to the max.
The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding, making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
The brainwashing media machine has been turned up on high, and it's time for humanity to double down on the true people's media and strike back against the tyrants that are destroying our civilization with their lies and fraud. We are the resistance. You are the resistance. You are the InfoWar. It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the InfoWar to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv.